Here's a crazy realization I had. I might be living in completely other dimensions than other people. And I know this sounds borderline schizophrenic, but hear me out for a second. And before I can explain myself, just quickly subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want informative videos, which might be helping to better your life. So subscribe right now. But what do I mean with I might be living in a different dimension? You have to understand the following. You go through life and you pick up stuff along the way. For example, okay, here's an interesting way to think about X. Here's an interesting statistic that proves Y, and here's a interesting experience that you had or somebody else which proves Z. And so you over time build up this huge tree of experiences and beliefs and values and all of that stuff and ways of thinking. And the problem is that you usually forget that you had to learn those things in the first place, especially if you're a curious person which just likes to explore all kinds of topics. And so you just forget, and the new information you once had to learn now becomes basic for you. It gets into the background processes of your brain or of your thinking essentially. And now it can act as a kind of filter on how you see the world, how you interact with the world, and how you see different events and your interpretations to these events or whatever it is. It just blends into your view of life and you assume it all the time. And there is many potential problems that come along with this. You can probably think of some if you want to. However, I want to focus on one problem here in this video, which is communication. Because at the same time that you were doing this, other people were obviously doing the same. And there is absolutely no fucking reason to believe that they came to the same conclusions or that they have had the same experiences or they have the same thought patterns now or whatever it is. They might be on a completely different side and might be brainwashed just like you maybe are into believing certain things. What looks for you basic or non-negotiable for somebody else is a shocking discovery, or it might be completely preposterous or whatever it is. They might say, oh, what the fuck, you're a fucking idiot, or you're an asshole for believing that, or whatever it is. You're kind of living in different dimensions, processing information completely differently, going through life completely differently again. And so you're living completely besides each other, right? And that can be a problem. For example, when you explain something or when you give an opinion of yours on a certain topic, then that usually builds on all those statistics, thought patterns and whatever you have had experienced or learned in the past, and you don't explain that really. Usually opinions are based on so many things and statistics and beliefs and whatever it is that you maybe even have forgotten about, right? And so you don't explain them. And the other person doesn't really know what you're talking about because you're not explaining that. And so they just hear your end result and they don't see all the steps it took you to get there. And then they're wondering what the fuck? This makes no sense at fucking all. And my belief systems say something completely different, which is understandable. And so you really have to watch out when giving an opinion or when you explain something that you really try to maybe explain everything, but that can obviously take too long. You can just say, well, if you don't get anything, then just ask me. Or people ask if they don't understand. So you know what I'm saying. But sometimes they don't maybe. And so you have to watch out with what you're saying. Or if you're saying something, maybe how you say it. For example, don't just always state things they're 100% true, whatever. That has a place for sure. In terms of seduction, or if you want to build certain view of you or something, then that can obviously be quite helpful. But if you want to just communicate on a deep level and just want to find out the truth, then watch out how you state things, because if you say with 100% certainty, then others just think, oh, yeah, this is not right, of course I'm right, and then you just get into weird battles which don't really have an end. Instead, you could just say, I might be fucking wrong here, but I've experienced some things in the past and I've heard some statistics and all that, but this is my end conclusion and blah blah blah, something along those lines. Sometimes I'm genuinely confused how we can even communicate with each other and understand each other, but I feel it just shows that there's an underlying reality that an underlying force kind of that's true. There is a truth, kind of. I truly believe in that, so yeah. I hope this video was helpful in a way, and if you want to see more helpful content, which is actually aimed at truly bettering your life, from my own personal experience and just others which are highly successful in whatever area you like, then subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram. The link for that is in the description down below if you want to see more of my personal life or whatever. And of course, like and comment if you also want to add something to this video. I've got many other videos, one of my recent ones was about the real age gap. If you want to know what that is, Again, in the description down below, it's linked. And so, yeah, with all of that being said, have a great fucking day and let's fucking go, man.